This is the Padres Postcast, your instant game reaction for the San Diego Padres. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up, Padre fan? Welcome to your Padres Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. My name is Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease, and I will tell you what, the Padres back in the win column. An exciting one tonight in Milwaukee. And sorry for the technical difficulties, guys. We had the internet out where I live, and here it is back. But I'm live and in effect, full color. Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease, G-R-I-E-S. @ Jim Grease _ is the email, and you know this, right? Obviously, it's been a long time since I've been here and doing this, and we love you guys and want to thank you for being here every day. You everydayers, you newbies, we love you as well. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Think about this, right? We're free on YouTube, Locked On Padres Podcast. We're free on Roku. We're free wherever you listen to your podcasts, and that means Stitcher, that means Spotify, that means Podbean, that means Apple Podcasts, and that means iHeart. All those places is where you can find us right here, and we're free, like I said, and we're after every game. And then Javier Reyes with the Padres Podcast is day in and day out as well. And guys, I'm sorry, I cannot find the remote for this TV behind me. There's supposed to be a picture from the game behind me, and I sincerely apologize for not having it there. And I don't know what happened to the name up there either, but hey, we're good. And I actually had it somewhere. It's here somewhere, and I cannot find it. So I guess we're going to have to look at a blank screen behind me. I do not see it anywhere. And I literally just went and grabbed it a couple of minutes ago. There it is. What about that, huh? Just hang with me for 1 second here. Yeah, there we go. Muchachos y muchachas. There we go. All right. So just, you know what I mean? Bear with me for 1 second. We got this. I mean, it's live. I was going to say live television. It is not live television. It is live stream, but you know what I'm saying. Yo, I'm not playing. So there you have it. Oh, the Pods take the opener. The Pods take the opener. And there it is. Manny, why you bugging with a rise with the RBI single today as well. So a big win for the Padres, and you are here, and we are very happy about that. So again, we're free, and after every game, and then Javi with the podcast is day in and day out right here. Wherever you are, come on in, say hi in the comments, say what's up to your boy. You love it when the Padres are playing ball like this. They're still not killing the ball offensively, but man, this pitching staff has been so good lately. Defensively, crisp and clean with no caffeine. Crisp and clean with no caffeine. Remember that guy, right? So the defense has been stellar. The pitching has been phenomenal. Offensively, Manny has been bugging. Manny's been killing it, right? Manny Machado, HR number 351 tonight. A rise, little ground ball single through. As a matter of fact, Chad Patrick only gave up 4 hits all night. 6 innings pitched. He only gave up 1 of the runs. Randy Vasquez only went 4 2/3, walked 4. Quick Hook only gave up 2 hits. You know what I mean? No runs allowed. Quick Hook from the skip for him tonight. And you know what I'm saying? He was good and good enough. Good enough to. So how about this, right? When you think about this game, and we will get to the meat and potatoes in a minute. And I know it's Southern Cali. You know, it's not meat and potatoes. It's more like lean proteins with twigs and leaves would be. You know what I mean? So that's what it is. But, man, we're pumped to have you here. So smash that subscribe. We are family. And hit that bell so you get alerts when we're coming your way with more content. It's Padres Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. The Pods open a 3-game series in Milwaukee with the 2-0 win. 5 pitchers combined on the shutout. And I know we got a lot to talk about tonight on your Padres Postcast. What do you say we get this thing going?
This is what you'll be talking about.
Where are you at? There you are. All right, that's Luis Arise after a big hit tonight. All arise. You know what I'm saying? Luis with an RBI single tonight. And, you know, obviously a big night for Manny Machado. And he's had a lot of those lately. Back-to-back games with a homer for Manny. And, you know, his teammates love him. This is just a cool shot of Vasquez overhead. And great job by Randy tonight. Or is that Suarez? Might be. I don't know. But the relievers were great again tonight, too. You know what I'm saying? They were absolutely fantastic when you look at this bullpen again, and you're talking about Vasquez goes 4 2/3, gives up 2 hits, walks 4. But you know what I mean? Big jam in that 5th inning, and Peralta came in 2/3 of an inning, strikes out 2 guys, and not just any guys. One of them was Yelich, a former MVP, but big spot in the game. Wandy Peralta again comes through for this team in this bullpen. Then Jeremiah Estrada, an inning and a third, scoreless baseball. Morejon, give me more, an inning and a third of scoreless baseball. And Robert Suarez back on track, MLB leading 20th save. But here's the thing. They gave up 2 hits out of the bullpen, 4 hits total, a 4-hit shutout from 5 pitchers in this game. And really, that was the biggest turning point in the game when you think about it. And you take Vasquez out of the game, the quick hook, so to speak. He hadn't thrown a ton of pitches. It's the 5th inning, right? Vasquez gets Durbin on a pop out to shortstop. Ortiz gets hit by a pitch. How many times do you see a walk or a hit by a pitch start at the beginning, right? And then a hit to right field, you know what I'm saying? And then a fly out. And you're looking at 2 away, couple of guys on, and you got Yelich coming on. And Yelich just, man, oh man, Yelich. That's a former MVP right there, and Wandy gets him. And then in the bottom of the 6th, Wandy gets a walk and a strikeout. He comes out for Estrada. He was fantastic, you know. And the Padres had plenty of chances to score in this game. I mean, you're looking at the 7th inning, you know, Lockridge with a 1-out single. Maldonado doubles. Lockridge goes to 3rd, but Fernando and Arraez, a strikeout and a ground out, and you don't get a run there. And, you know, leave it to Manny. He hits the solo bomb in the 8th, and that gives you the insurance. But that was really... They didn't get anything off Chad Patrick all night long. I mean, barely got that early run, right? You know what I'm saying? So when you look at the way this game unfolded, you got the run in the 3rd and the run in the 8th, and your pitching staff was phenomenal. So you got a run in the 3rd inning. You really didn't threaten much at all. You know what I'm saying? You got a 2-out walk to Bogarts in the 2nd. You know what I mean? Just really nothing doing. Nothing doing throughout the game offensively for the Pods. The 3rd inning, a little bit of an aberration, so to speak, the way Patrick was pitching, but Wade with a bunt single, and that's what led it off, right? And then Maldonado, who had a couple hits tonight, singles to right. Wade goes to 3rd. Fernando fouls out. He was 0 for 5, another tough night for Tati. But Arraez singles through the hole between short and 3rd, 1-0. Manny pops out. Merrill strikes out. Jackson's not swinging the bat well either right now. But meanwhile, you know, Vasquez cruising. Then you get to that 5th inning, and Wandy comes in and bails him out. Big spot. And that was huge for the Padres there. So when I look at this game, it was old school National League Baseball, even though you got the DH now. It was very, very well played, outstanding defense, great pitching, National League playoff baseball. You saw it in the Giants series, all 4 games decided by a run or less. And I'm a run or less. All 4 games decided by a run. And then, you know, it's a 2-2 split, and either team could have won any of those 4 games. This one starts this way, but here's the good thing. The bullpen like it is, the defense like it is. Here's the really good thing about all this, Padre fan. Are you ready? Look, I'm not exactly putting you up on anything huge in terms of game here, but I'll tell you this. You get used to winning games like this as a team. Look at the Indiana Pacers right now. Halliburton has a game winner in every single series. Every series so far. You get used to winning games like this. It becomes a habit. You become a team that's great in 1-run games or games decided by 2 runs or less. And that's the thing as you head toward the playoffs and you're used to winning those close games. Now, would I love to see a power hitting left fielder come in that 4th spot and just magically transform this offense? Boom. Yes, I'd love it. Would I love to see a lefty starter, a very good one? Yes, I would. Maybe another lefty in the bullpen? Without a doubt. Would I love to see Cronenworth in that trade and have Arraez go back to 2nd, bring back a power hitting first baseman? 100% yes. Why? Because I'd rather have Arraez than Cronenworth, but I'd rather have a power-hitting first baseman. Then you can get a left fielder that's like maybe a 6 or 7 hitter in your lineup, solid outfielder like a Duran from the Red Sox, even though it was 8th in the MVP voting last year. Probably wouldn't be that far down in the order, but more speed in the outfield. You don't have to go for the huge power numbers if you have those at first base. But there will be a lot of big-time sluggers hitting the market this year, and Javi will have more on that day in and day out with your Locked On Padres podcast. But in the meantime, Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease on the postcast. It really was just a well-played game. You know, and the Padres had a bunch of hits tonight. They just couldn't come up with the big ones. They had a lot of runners getting on base, especially later in the game against that Milwaukee bullpen, which actually bodes really well later in the series. So maybe with a little rest, Adam will be back on his game, and his control has been a bit of an issue. But Suarez, man, back on his game as well. So the Pods take the opener 2-0 in Milwaukee. You got to love that stadium, that market, those fans, that team. Pat Murphy, the former Arizona State Sun Devil baseball coach, you know what I mean, is the manager, and they are balling right now. And it's a big win for the Padres. Remember, this team had won 10 of 11 coming into this series, 2 more games in the series, but you win the opener, maybe you have a chance to win this series. You split the Giants, should have been 3-1. That third game of that series, look, the fourth game, yeah, you had second and third with 2 outs in the ninth. Base hit, you're up 2, bang. Yes, that would have been dope. But the 5-run lead that Pivetta and Adam blew in the third game of that series, that was, to me, you could have come into this one on a little better note. But you win this series here, you go back home, and you think about it, right? The Dodgers lost again tonight. They lost the Cardinals 5-0. They've been scuffing a little bit. They've got those 2 Cy Young Award winners on the IR, injured list, and you have Mookie Betts out right now, and so the Dodgers have been injury prone. They've been so deep, and they've spent so much money, and they've had so much, been smart with that money as much as they have to spend. So when you look at those Dodger teams, a lot of the injuries of the rotation these last couple of years in the playoffs, last year they won the World Series with their B team on the bump. They didn't have their best pitchers last year, and they still won it. So anyway, they lost tonight to the Cardinals, and they lost yesterday to the Mets. The Padres could have been tied for first right now. But as it stands, they're a game back, right, of the Dodgers, who lost tonight. And then the Giants are a game behind them still, and the D-Bags are 6 games out, so that makes them 5 games behind the Padres. But bad news for them. Very bad news for the Diamondbacks if you didn't see it. Corbin Burns is going to have Tommy John surgery. He's done. Dunzo. Out. He's done. They're done. Adios. D-Bagos. You know what I'm saying? They're gone. So the Diamondbacks are gone. You're not going to have to worry about them. It's the Giants. And look, the Giants are going to be one of those teams too. The Giants are going to be in the market for a big-time bat, just like the Padres will be. There's a bunch of teams that are going to be looking. The Dodgers are going to be looking for a left-handed bat. But the Padres really need a star, in my opinion. Look, Manny's great. He's in the top 100 all-time homers. I'm okay with Manny in the 3 spot. Last week I wasn't, but he's been hot. You get a big-time bat in that 4-hole. Look, I don't think Merrill's a cleanup dude. I like him in the 5 spot. Down the line, when Manny's older and when he's gone, then Merrill's a 3-spot guy. But now you need that cleanup hitter. And, I would prefer that it be a first baseman, move Arise back to second, include Cronenworth in that package. And, just because Arise in the playoffs is such a tough out, man. Such a tough out. When pitchers are on their A game, and in the playoffs, how many times do you see that? It's pitching, it's defense in the playoffs, right? The teams that are pitching the best and playing the best defense, they're the ones that are winning in the postseason and moving along and advancing as far as they can. But you'd rather have Luis Arise in that lineup against that tough pitching later on. It will come down to some big spots where you need a guy who can hit that great pitching. And you have those guys in Manny, and obviously Fernando has been really bad. I don't know what's going on here with Fernando offensively. Are you starting to get concerned about Tatis? He impacts the game in so many ways. Defensively, with the arm, with the speed, the glove, obviously incredible. Offensively, he draws walks, he steals bases, he beats out infield hits. But he hit 183 in May, and June's no better so far. Look, if I look at Fernando's split, and I don't want to start panicking. I'll leave that for Javi. I don't mean panicking. I don't leave the panicking for Javi. I'll leave the day-to-day stuff to him. But when I look at Fernando Tatis Jr., his struggles have been that bad. He started the season on fire, hit 450 in those 5 games in March, 323 in April, but 183 in May, and his splits are bad. You know what I mean? So he's at 263 right now. He's got the 13 dingers and the 28 RBIs. We were talking about him a little over a month ago as an MVP candidate. Now he's not even the best leadoff hitter in baseball right now. Not right now is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? So when you look at his average and his stats for the month of June, man, he is 5 for 19 in June. 5 for 19, and he hit 183 in May. So you do the math, right? I just, you know that the big Tati party's coming. You know he's going to have a month when he hits 10 home runs. You know he's going to have a month when he hits 400, 450. He's going to carry the offense for a week or two, inevitably at least once this season. So are you worried about Fernando Tatis Jr.? Let me know in the comments. Jim Grieshaber, call me Gries, Gries, at Jim Gries _ on social media. Give me a follow, make you holla, and I will tell you this. Tonight's episode of your Padres Postcast is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, hey, it's your tomorrow. New customers get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins with FanDuel. All right, we still have the turning point. We still have your star of the game. We still have a look ahead to tomorrow. Tomorrow, I love you. Tomorrow, maybe they can win the series by taking that game tomorrow. We'll look at that as well. So much more to do. Not a ton of time to do it in, but we have great offers from our incredible sponsors coming your way right now. It's Padres Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. All right. Let's be real. Coffee isn't just a drink, right? It's a ritual, a lifeline, the thing that gets you from half asleep to fully functioning. That's right. And if it's that essential, why settle for anything less than amazing? That's where Trade Coffee comes in. That is where Trade Coffee comes in. So, Trade Coffee, the #1 coffee destination in the U.S., delivering fresh, incredible coffee from over 50 of the country's top roasters. Whether you're a cold brew fan or a pour-over purist, they've got a roast that you will love. And I'll tell you this, it really is incredible. You take the quiz. It only takes a minute. The first bag they send you is going to be based on the quiz. They're going to take your coffee temperature and learn about what you prefer, right? It smells fresh. It's amazing. It's unbelievable, right? If the first match isn't perfect, Trade will replace it for free until they get it just right. I love that their prices are comparable to grocery store brands, but the flavor is on a whole nother level. And right now, hey, Trade is exclusively offering our customer 50% off your 1-month trial at drinktrade.com/lockedonmlb. That's TRADE.com/lockedonmlb for 50% off your 1-month trial. And that is Trade Coffee on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. StreamYard, come on, StreamYard. Lord. All right, here we go. Give you the 5 count every time I hit that. Standing 8 in boxing. And my cat's in here having a blast with all my stuff in the studio. It's kind of funny. The cat's going nuts in here. Kind of apropos considering the, let's see, right here. The NBA playoffs are in full swing. And every night delivers highlight-worthy performances, major momentum shifts, and can't-miss moments. Whether it's a game-winning shot or a breakout player, there's never a better time to get in on the action than right now. FanDuel makes it easy to stay in the game before tip-off and live with player props, performance trends, and same-game parlays. Fans have more ways than ever to play smart and win big. That's right. Which players are showing up at the biggest moments, and how could tracking their trends help you build your next bet? Halliburton, SGA, you know what I'm saying? How would a $200 bonus in bets add to the excitement if your first $5 bet hits? I bet you'd add a lot, no doubt. So if you're new to FanDuel, it's the perfect time to sign up. Head to FanDuel.com and place your first $5 bet. If it wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. FanDuel on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team, yours every day. All right, there you go, StreamYard. It only took 5 minutes that time. All right, Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease, Padres Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day, trying to keep it to 20 minutes, and I love the yap. I've been doing it for 35 years in radio, TV. By the way, I'll be on ESPN Radio tomorrow for 3.5 hours breaking down UFC 316, 2 to 5 Pacific, with Booker T, the five-time world champion, and Brad Gilmore in the Hall of Fame, sitting in the Hall of Fame. That's the name of their show. But that'll be tomorrow. Tonight it's baseball, and the Padres with the win, 2-zip. They take the opener in Milwaukee. Luis Arraez with an RBI single, and Luis Arraez is one of the best hitters in baseball. As you know, that single in the 3rd inning, and then Manny, why you bug? And he hits another home run, back-to-back days. Manny's been hitting them in a bunch lately. He has 9 on the year, but he had like 2 about 10 days ago. So Manny's been hitting them. You know what I'm saying? And a nice one for the Padres. They're pulling out these close wins. They're a game back of the Dodgers, who lost 5-zip to the Cardinals tonight. They are a game ahead of the Giants, who they just split with. How important was that last game in the big comeback of the Pittsburgh series now? And man, you wish you would have held on to that 5-run lead in the 3rd game of the Giants series, or gotten an RBI, 2-run single in the 9th inning. You know what I mean? A couple of days ago in the final, yesterday actually, in the finale in San Fran. But all sorts of great things happening with this team. They're winning the close games. They're getting it. and they're getting great defensive play. Their pitchers are phenomenal. 5 pitchers combining on a 4-hit shutout tonight. All right, couple things to do. Short amount of time to do it in, and we will start with the moment where the game turned around, and here it is.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
And I'm going to go for my turning point, and where is, see, I don't see, did I get Wandy in here? No, I don't think so, did I? I can't even see that, it's so small. But it was big time in the 5th inning, and this is where the game really turned for the Padres. Look, you're up 1-0, right? But what's a 1-run lead? Rise had the RBI single in the 3rd. I mean, dude, their pitcher was dealing tonight. Chad Patrick was really good, man. That kid can throw. He's 3-5 with a 2.84. Think about that. 3-5 with a 2.84. He needs a little more help. He took the loss tonight. Peralta got the win. He's 3-0, only pitched 2/3 of an inning. Suarez, the 20th save of the season for him. But 2-8-0 for the Pods, 0-4-0 for the Brew Crew, 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 8th for San Diego. But it was defense and pitching, and the turning point was this. Very simple. In the 5th inning, Randy Vasquez on the mound for the Padres, right? Bottom of the 5th inning, and it's 1-0. It's 1-0 at the time. The Padres are up. So Durbin pops out to short. Ortiz hit by a pitch by Vasquez, never a good thing, right? Chorrillo flies out to center. Ortiz goes to 3rd after Terang singled to right. So you got 1st and 2nd. Chorrillo flies out to center. Ortiz goes to 3rd. 1st and 3rd. And Terang steals 2nd. So you got 2nd and 3rd. And you have a former MVP. You have a former star of the game. You have Yelich at the plate, Christian Yelich. Wandy Peralta comes in, gets the big strikeout. 2nd and 3rd, they pitch to him. Man, I love this version, right? They pitch to him, no fear. And Peralta gets the strikeout. To me, that was the turning point of the game because that was where it could have led to the lead for Milwaukee, and that was really the inning in which the Padres got tested the most defensively, but they've been fantastic, you know what I mean? And then Estrada comes on in the 7th inning, and, you know, that was not an easy inning for them to get out of either. They had a couple of guys on, and they got Contreras on the big strikeout, and just a great job by Morejon in this game, but 5 pitchers combining on the 4-hit shutout. So there was your turning point, and how about, it's tough to pick one today.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Manny Machado, homers for the 2nd straight day, number 351 today. He's in the top 100, just passing Dick Allen. Who? Dick Allen. You know what I'm saying? Manny, why you bugging? He's a nominee for Player of the Game, as is Luis Ariz, man. What a stroke he has. Unbelievable. How about Robert Suarez? Fantastic tonight. Really good coming on to get the save. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do something a little unconventional because he had 2 hits tonight and because he's back there. Now, I want to give some love here because nobody loves the catchers, man. And Maldonado's hitting 179. He was 2 for 4 tonight, right? 2 for 4. He had a double and 2 hits, right? Didn't drive in a run. Ariz drove in 1, and Manny hit the homer. But you see Robert Suarez there. And when you have 5 pitchers combined on a 4-hit shutout, Vasquez, Peralta, Estrada, Morejon, Suarez, the catcher has to know every pitcher. He knows the scouting report on every hitter. He calls the games. I mean, I know they have this the communication system and all that, and it's coming from Niebla and Schilt, but it's Maldonado, man. When you have a 4-hit shutout from 5 pitchers, and the catcher is catching every pitcher's different. All their stuff is different. There's lefties, there's righties. What a brilliantly caught game behind the dish by Maldonado. He's brilliant defensively, pops out of there like nobody's business, throws people out on slow rollers. He's got a great arm. Almost got, what's his name tonight? And he almost gunned him down too. This was, where are we at here? Where's the story, the game story? Where are you at? Where they 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 at? Come on now. If you want to go, where are we at here? Bang. It was, oh yeah, it was Jackson Chourio. And it was a high fastball from Morejon, and they almost got him. Like, it was a perfect throw by Maldonado. So my point is, he called a great game. He had 2 hits. He caught every pitcher, all 5 of them, as they threw a 4-hit shutout. So Martin Maldonado is our player of the game tonight on Padres Postcast. Bet you didn't see that one coming. And the other day in the chat, one of you, and I love y'all, all y'all, but one of you came in and said, hey, man, like, we need a new catcher. But I like these guys a lot. Elias Diaz, Martin Maldonado. Don't forget his postseason experience with the Stros. But this dude is legit back there. So he's our player of the game tonight. All right, tomorrow, I love you. Tomorrow, you're only a day away. Hey. But here's the thing, right, about tomorrow. And I love to have a good time, you know. Don't need nothing but a good time. That's what I'm doing, right? If you don't love what you're doing, go do something else. But I'll tell you this, tomorrow's a big one for the Padres. You win this series after you just split with the Giants. You're a game behind the Dodgers, game above San Fran, right there in that little sweet spot. You got to worry about things to the deadline. But for right now, defensively, the pitching staff, you're playing great. Merrill's not hitting at all. Tatis hasn't hit anything since April. Still impacts the game in so many ways, you almost forget he's in a dreadful slump right now, right? Merrill's in a terrible spot. Bogarts isn't hitting. You know what I mean? Like, Manny's like legit the only, and Arise always hits, but Manny's like legit the only dude who's been consistent lately offensively. So that's a problem. But for right now, the pitching and the defense have been phenomenal. Tomorrow, you got a tough one. You got Jose Quintana, who is 4-1 with a 2.77, and then you got Kolek, 3-1 with a 3.47. The reliever turned starter for the Pods. He's been really good, was great his last time out. So you got the Padres here. They are on the money line, -110. They opened at -105. And then the Brewers are also -110. Both teams, let's see, -1.5 on the run line for the Pods, +1.5 for the Brewers. I like that. Wow, -1.5. That's a little rough. We'll have to see where that line moves. But how about Fernando is still, he still leads the team in homers. He's got 13 and only 28 RBIs. A lot of that's probably being a leadoff guy, even though the pitcher doesn't hit anymore. But, you know, Fernando at 263, Manny at 316, leading the team in batting average. His on-base percentage is 380. But Gavin Sheets leads the team in RBIs with 38. And so that's interesting, too, running into the wall the other day. But we'll see how Sheets does. But tomorrow's going to be an interesting one. We'll be here right after the game. And let's see, that game starts at 4:35 p.m. It's on Fox. Perfect game for Fernando to break out, man. We need a Nando, right? We need a Tati party, a month-long Tati party. Let's do June. Let's do July. You're going to get it. He's going to have another month where he blisters the hell out of the ball. But as of right now, he's been really struggling. So is Merrill. Maybe they can pop out of it. But in the meantime, pitchers have been great. They're winning the National League way, playing defense, no errors, that sort of thing. Crisp and clean baseball, playoff baseball is what we're seeing right now. The Giants series and the Brewers series. And the Dodgers are not playing well. So you could, with a win tomorrow, technically be in first place with the Dodgers. Let's see what the Dodgers have going tomorrow against the Cardinals. That's an early start for them, 11:15. So the Dodgers will send, Yamamoto's on the mound tomorrow, 6-4 with a 2.39. And let's see, they're playing the Cardinals. So we'll see. We shall see. And the Giants right now, where they at? The Giants. I think they're playing the Braves, right? Didn't they just beat the Braves? Yeah, they beat the Braves 5-4. They're winning a lot of one-run games, the Giants. But they play again tomorrow in San Fran, and that will be Bryce Elder against Logan Webb, who was really good against the Padres in that last series. All right, I got to go, man. I'm going way too long on the show. Sorry, Javi. Appreciate all you guys, though, man. It just kind of flows and comes up, and I will be better. Sorry, Sam. Sorry, all you guys. But really appreciate you. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease, GRIES, at Jim Grease _ on social media. We are free wherever you get your podcasts. That means Spotify. That means Apple. That means iHeart. That means Stitcher. That means Podbean. We are free right here on YouTube. Locked On Padres podcast channel. Day in and day out, you get Javi. After the games, you get moi. And you also get Locked On MLB Game Night. Every game, every night, all season long. Yeah, it's on YouTube. Yeah, it's on everywhere else too. So the number one thing that I want to promote right now is You Down with OTT. Yeah, you know me. We are on Roku, and we're free there as well. So YouTube, Roku, and wherever you get your audio version as the Padres. The magic continuing. Another win tonight. 2-0 to open the series in Milwaukee. Big one tomorrow. Starts at like 4:45, is it? Somewhere in that range. Pacific time, and then we'll be here right after with the postcast. Thank you so much for being here. Until tomorrow, keep your game tight and your mind right, Padre fan, and thank you so much for watching your Padres postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.